going on, guys? It's your boy Ant, GuyMade32 on Instagram, and today we got something real special for you, man. From the good people over at New Rockstars, we got the SheHulk trailer breakdown, and we got a special guest in the house with us today. We got Miss Becky with us.
What up, Ant? It's me, Becky. I'm from Unapologetically&Free. It's a podcast. You can find me on Spotify. I'm on Apple. I'm on Google. Everywhere where podcasts are streamed. I'm also on Instagram, unapologetic_free with 3 E's. Follow me, like, subscribe, DM. Let's talk.
Yeah. It's not often I got friends in here doing these trailer breakdowns with me, man. So it's just so good to have another comic book movie lover with me, man. So now we can go over this together and see what the good folks over in New Rockstars really got in store for. If you like what we got going on here, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps us way more than you know, and it helps us beat the YouTube algorithm. So without any further ado, we got the SheHulk trailer breakdown from New Rockstars. Let's get it!
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik
Hey,
Voss,
Erik.
and this is a breakdown of everything you might have missed in the trailer for SheHulk, with Tatiana Maslany playing Jennifer Walters, high-powered attorney, cousin to Bruce Banner.
I missed all of the trailers on Disney Plus Day.
SheHulk is one of the funniest and coolest characters.
I wasn't even home. I didn't even know Disney Plus Day was a thing.
They
With
did
trailers.
everything. They did everything on Twitter.
See? That was corny.
I thought it was fake.
See, that was corny, though. They should've just did it on the app.
And let's get started.
I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm a normal lawyer. Well, not that normal.
So we open on Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters doing yoga in her neat IKEA home. One that you know is just gonna get wrecked when she hulks out. Maslany earned praise for her role on Orphan Black, playing several amazing distinct identities. A skill that will serve her well on this series when she plays both Jen and her large.
Have you watched Orphan Black?
I have not watched Orphan Black.
Monstrous and
I've heard
aggro,
about
but
it.
brash and confident, still in control. In the comics, Jen
Yo,
was
to see
Bruce
She-Hulk
Banner's
come to
cousin
life.
who prosecutes criminals who end up trying to kill her, leaving it to Bruce to give her a blood transfusion that ends up powering her up into She-Hulk. But unlike Bruce in the comics,
I
she
remember
reaches
that.
a stasis with her hulked out form, choosing to stay green all of the time. Here, as an attorney, she wears a plum-colored shirt, the way Bruce Banner in the MCU often is shown wearing purple. Hulk's
His
classic
purple
romance
giant.
color. But very briefly, we see her hulked out form, wearing white, purple, and black attire, similar to her outfit in the comics. And I love it, cross trainers. Her athletic shape here is elevated, but not too much so, keeping our eyes focused on her personality. I know, it feels a bit gross to be talking so much about her form, but keep in mind, that is a conversation about She-Hulk, whether you like it or not. And these are all freakish, fantastical characters. And if you've been watching New Rockstars,
I like that they kept her, like, athletic. That was She-Hulk.
The fact that he had to explain that.
I
Him
mean,
talking about her form goes to how far that we was talking about just now.
true.
I might cut this part out of us me talking about this part, but like, Jesus Christ, son. When we watch this series, now this part gonna be in there. Now when we do watch this She-Hulk series, if She-Hulk in there boop bopping off the beat boop,
She-Hulk is not promiscuous. Don't say to her like that.
what you gonna tell me when she start beat bopping?
She's living her best life.
I've spent more time on this channel obsessing over the physiques of Hulk and Thor, all their gutters. So now that we have talked about it, we can put that to bed and move on and talk about her hair. Because Tatiana Maslany was given curls in this show, which at first I thought, is that really just so that she looked more like Mark Ruffalo? But no, it was added to contrast She-Hulk's wild mane of dark green hair. We focus on all these features, but we do not yet see the character's face, which I think is so smart for this teaser, because they're probably still working on the VFX there, and whenever you first show a VFX constructed character, revealing the face is often where you risk losing
Yeah,
viewers
because
and
that's where you
finale,
move into the
right? This way, it
uncanny
just
valley
keeps fans
territory.
guessing and lets fans know that this isn't going to shy away from the She-Hulk we know from the comics. On to the next clip.
These transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Keep that for the movie.
What you were saying?
Like that she stays in her Hulk form the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like how she stepped out with her dress on the red carpet.
Yeah, because that's what she be doing in the comics.
Yeah.
In the comics, she don't go back.
She don't change back. I love that. Embrace it. Meanwhile, Bruce Banner.
She-Hulk.
Nice. So Mark Ruffalo returns in this series, but we see him here in his smart Hulk form from Avengers Endgame, rocking the hoodie, gym shorts, and bare feet that those of us from Florida call winter chic. Meanwhile, Jen is wearing baggy clothes, clearly expecting to bulk out here, or what those of us from Florida who relocated to California call 2020 chic. Guess we don't leave our hopes. So this must be Banner's Gamma Lab that he referred to in Endgame when he explained how he got this way.
18 months in a gamma lab. I put the brains and the brawn together. And now look at me.
And I love this detail. You can tell
brains
this
and
lab
brawn
was designed
together.
for powerful
Now
gamma
Now
radiation
look at-
because all the walls appear to be carved into thick stone.
He's like,
making
behold.
concrete
The
lined
new
with
and
lead.
improved
Now,
Hulk.
Abomination Neil Blonsky, Tim Roth will return in this series after his crazy cameo fighting Wong
Right.
in Shang-Chi. Actually, the
Have you
Oh, I
seen
forgot
Shang-Chi?
about that.
Wong's portal
Mm-mm,
looks a
haven't seen
bit
that
like
yet
Hulk's
either.
gamma cell here.
It's pretty
Maybe
good.
Blonsky was
It's
being
on,
put in
Disney
this
Plus
lab
now.
as
Yeah.
Banner worked to depower him. Now, in Endgame, Banner never went into further detail as to how exactly he reached the stasis that allowed him to stay permanently in Hulk form while retaining his Banner intellect, but this is exactly the type of balance that She-Hulk normally has, so the MCU may be using that twist from Endgame to justify why She-Hulk is the way that she is. Now, this scene could be taking place after a transfusion that would have briefly caused Jen to chaotically Hulk out, and now Bruce is trying to help her reach that balance he has discovered with just the right cocktail of gamma radiation. Or it could just be that there's something in the Banner family blood that gets triggered by gamma radiation this way. Notice how on his screens, the bottom one shows Jen and her biostats, whereas the top one seems to be showing his own, so right now Banner could be calibrating the radiation to the level that he used on himself. Notice
And that would be funny too, because in the I forget which movie it was. I think it was the original 2002 movie. It was genetic. Like the father had experimented on him, and when the gamma rays hit him in the 2002 movie, that's when he hulked out for the first time. So his father was a monster in his own right, and then he was a monster too, and then they fought.
Right, but now they're changing it here to say that it's just gamma.
Nah, but I don't know what they're gonna try to do here. Maybe they're gonna try to say like it's genetic again, like you were saying, something in the Banner blood. But I don't think it's that. I think it's like the old ways, the original origin for him, where it's
He was experimenting
it
on
was
himself and like
Exactly,
experimenting with crazy,
exactly.
and he turned into the Hulk. I like
Exactly.
that better than thinking that it's genetic. But like, if Banner has kids, it will then become genetic.
shit that they say the same thing about Spider-Man.
But
that Jen wears a helmet that seems to be wired in from above. This actually could be how Bruce irradiated himself with gamma while leaving his mind unaffected by using a helmet that blocks out the gamma from making his brain stupid. Now, these transformations are triggered by anger and fear, which could also mean that maybe his Zen-like mastery over his emotions played a pretty big role in his successful fusion of his forms. But ultimately, we know that Banner reverts to his human form at some point after the events of Endgame, based on his arm still in the sling, as
He
it
look
was
old
at
as
the
shit.
end of Endgame when he meets with Shang-Chi, Katie, Wong, and
Maybe the
Banner.
whole form is taking a toll on him now.
So maybe
Could be.
Banner had
I
to
mean,
return to
at
human
some
form
point,
in order to be
right?
able to give blood to his
Radiation in
cousin,
our
because think
bodies,
about
like
it, as
at
Smart
some
Hulk,
point, our
no
bodies have to.
transfusion needle
Something's
would
gotta
have been
take
able to
over.
penetrate the skin. And then maybe what we see in Shang-Chi was just him during that temporary power day.
That makes
Jen
sense.
quotes Bruce Banner's classic line,
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry.
You
You wouldn't
would
like
like
me when I'm angry.
That show right there. That show right there. When I tell you that show right there put me on, my grandma loves that show.
Really?
Really, like
Damn.
they were I was made to be a comic book fan. They ain't even know it, but my grandmother loved this show right here. Watched it like it was a soap opera. My mom was watching the old Spider-Man not only the cartoon, but they had a Spider-Man TV show, the old one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I would love to
Yeah.
actually sit and watch that. That sounds pretty dope. I would love to sit and watch an old
The
Spider-Man
one
movie.
from the 70s, that joint looked crazy.
I know it probably looks horrible right now.
Looks crazy.
It probably looks.
He was swinging on
horrific.
ropes. It don't even look like webs. I'm dead. I'm dead. Back to
Ropes
it.
was just like this thing.
Real talk, that thick. He made a rope web net. What?
Holding
A
on
rope
to it like this instead of like this.
net web. I don't know what he did.
appeared in that that Shang-Chi post-credit scene, but something odd is going on here. Bruce's arm is not in the sling as it was in the Shang-Chi scene. His hair is not nearly as gray, and both he and Jen look like they're wearing late 70s or early 80s attire. Specifically, Bill Bixby's attire as David Banner in the 1978 Incredible Hulk series. Also, you'll notice the focus is soft, like we're watching this on an old TV set. And yeah, it's pretty weird to see her break the fourth wall and look directly into camera to deliver the catchphrase. It's almost as if we are watching an episode of WandaVision. Are these two in a reality warped by Wanda Maximoff during the events of WandaVision? Who knows how far Wanda's hex
Stop the madness, Eric.
Hulk's Gamma Lab could be
That's just a commercial in universe, Eric. Shut up.
And maybe they got caught.
She's a lawyer.
Reality warp, making them look like
I'm a lawyer.
Maybe they got trapped somewhere at some point in time or something.
On the package he sent to Liv Tyler, referencing David Banner and the fact that they sampled the music from that show. Now, if not a WandaVision crossover, this could just be an example of how the She-Hulk series will playfully break the fourth wall in its own way. Perhaps with Jen's imagination taking her to these silly cutaways. I mean, the series is a legal comedy, something I imagine to be in the vein of Ally McBeal, which would also engage in these fantastic moments. And hey, co-starred Iron Man!
I never watched Ally McBeal.
I did.
And that procedural
Ally
tone
McBeal
is,
was
I
fine.
think,
I
the
was way
reason
too young
behind
to be
the
watching
new
Ally
She-Hulk
McBeal.
title logo, which I gotta admit, I'm not a huge fan of. I much prefer the original one.
Right.
City backdrop, as we often see in legal shows. By the way, this is a city of Los
I guess that
Angeles.
makes sense because she's a lawyer.
Pollution and smog
Yeah, she's a
anywhere.
lawyer.
Suggesting this series might have the snappier and more glamorous LA vibe that we haven't really seen in the MCU since the Iron Man movies. You'll also see that glamour in the brief shot later in the reel, showing Jen flashing some Angelina leg as she steps out of a car at a
in
fancy red carpet
green.
event. But also, while you scrub through this reel, there is one totally inexplicable shot that seems to show Tatiana Maslany screaming as she gets dragged into a cave. This looks horrifying. Something more out of Moon Knight than She-Hulk, I would imagine. But maybe another representation of Jen's inner fantasies or inner fears as she wrestles with her inner demons to conquer her fear and master her outer form. Could also be part of a fight with the villain of this series, Titania, Mary McFerrin, played by Jamila Jamil. As someone who has always loved She-Hulk's sense of humor, when she kind of laughed at herself and was able to poke fun at the Marvel Comics, I'm just so excited for this series. And Tatiana Maslany is going to do such a good job as a new leader of the Avengers, perhaps, or at least just a brilliant legal mind to debate the likes of the TVA or the Living Tribunal or whoever is going to prosecute Peter Parker. Get this woman in the MCU right away. To support this channel, check out one of our great merch options at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars.
It's coming.
Subscribe to
It's time.
New
It's
Rockstars.
It's coming.
Breakdowns of everything Marvel. Thanks for watching. This is my 7th video I shot today. I'm so tired, but we did it.
He's like you. That's how you be sounding.
Yeah, guys, that was a new Rockstars trailer breakdown for She-Hulk, man. What do you think about it?
I can't wait for it. I feel like it's gonna be good. I want to see those like little cutaways that we're seeing, like if it's really like her mind, because then that would be really dope to have that little. Yeah, I'm excited. I fucking love She-Hulk. More woman power.
It looks pretty good, man. Honestly, I'm not the biggest in She-Hulk lore or backstory. I just knew how she got her powers. I knew that she got in some type of accident. Somebody was trying to kill her. Lost a lot of blood and needed a blood transfusion. And I don't know why Bruce thought it was a good idea, but he gave her some of his blood. Yeah. You know what I mean? And she hulked out and turned into She-Hulk. Never knew why she only stayed green. Never knew any of her character. So it's gonna be fun to get into a Marvel original series that I don't know much about.
Well, it'll be. I guess it'll be new and enlightening for you. Whereas for me, I'm hoping that it will be nostalgic. I hope that it's not like the old She-Hulk cartoons, because then that would just kind of corny, right? So I hope that they do like make at least a little changes to it. But then I would hope that they like still keep to the storyline also at the same time. The old She-Hulk cartoons, like the reason why She-Hulk like stays green is because like she loves it. She actually enjoys being She-Hulk. She found a way, like even in the cartoon, it depicted she was almost better at controlling the Hulk or becoming the Hulk than Bruce Banner. Okay. You know, she like embraced it and just freaking she loved it. Okay. So I can't wait to see that like translate onto this big screen. Oh
man, it sounds amazing. But you guys tell me what you think, man. Jump down in the comments and let me know. Are you a She-Hulk fan? If you are, what's your favorite She-Hulk comic book? Or what's the storyline that you're waiting for to be adapted into this series? If you like what you see here, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps us way more than you know, and it helps us beat the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to be notified when we upload new videos, go ahead and click that little bell icon. Thank you. Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
You gonna get bigger than you are now? Is that possible?
Yeah.